Hi, everybody. It has been a minute since I have planned in my spiral notebook. Now, this is a regular one subject, 70 sheets, 10.5 by 8 inches notebook. I think I got this one at Target. You can get them pretty much anywhere. I know the last one that I did was a little bit larger, and so I wanted to kind of shrink it down, give you guys realistic measurements and stuff. But in this one, I also started growing my first garden this year, so I also have all of this in here. So I'm gonna skip over that and get right into my July setup. Now, as you can see, everything is pretty much penciled in the way I want it. I have some places like right in here where I have the lines drawn that I don't actually want to draw those. This is a really good technique for you if you are setting up your very first spiral notebook, or even if you're setting up, your second or third. Feel free, I totally give you permission to do it all in pencil and then come back in and do it in ink. So I have got, my calendar is 3/4 of an inch wide for each one of my blocks. And then they are 1 inch tall. So 1 inch tall by 3/4 inches wide. And that gave me a pretty solid calendar on this page because I wanted it just to be a 1 page. I didn't want to have a 2-page open, and I'll tell you why. When I'm planning in my notebook, I am a very firm writer. I press down pretty hard with my pens and pencils. So a lot of times, if you can see on just my gardening one on the back, it is really, really lifted. I am, and excuse the sloppy handwriting. That is my quick get it down handwriting. But yeah, I definitely press hard. So I do not normally use the backs of my paper for anything. And I feel like you totally could if you wanted to, or you could put a piece of like cardstock or something thicker in between the pages so that you didn't get that ridging or that feel of the pen going through. So once I set this up, I will ink this, and I will most likely use my Muji 0.5. And the reason I'll use my Muji is because it dries quickly, so I can quickly go, through this and then erase all of my pencil marks quickly. If I did it with my G210, which is probably my favorite pen to write in this notebook with because of the paper, it just soaks up all of that ink and it just looks so dark and beautiful. I would have to wait for it to dry because it doesn't dry quickly on this paper. I think it's just too inky. But the Muji dries really, really fast. So I will do a planner flip through once I get July all inked in. But I wanted to show you guys how I start with this. It's never like perfect the first time, and I will definitely, you'll see, I will change things when I ink it and add all of the decor. It's going to look totally different. This is my tracker, so my habit tracker. And as you can see, there's a bubble right there. So I'll have to fix that when I ink it. Usually what happens because I use this ruler, usually what happens is I will go to move the ruler and I smudge it just a tiny bit, or I get my fingernail on the way. It's a haphazard it's a thing. I know, it's totally a thing. So if I go back in here with my pencil and I just say, look, April, this is where you want your line. I can get rid of that with ink. But the really great thing I love about a spiral notebook versus a bullet journal, one, the cost, because it's totally not comparable. I mean, you can't compare the cost of a Leuchtturm 1918 or 1917 to a spiral notebook. Even the most affordable bullet journals are more than, a $3 to $5 notebook, depending on how many pages you want in it. And the other great thing about using a spiral notebook as a planner is if I bung it up completely and I hate it, I just tear out the pages. No one knows. They're not going to know. They're going to know. They're not going to know. I promise. They're not going to know. So for July, 31 days, my rows are 1/2 inch. They just go by this. So whatever this is my column width. And then my height, my height is going to be right at 3/4. No, there's a quarter, whatever that is. Guys, I don't do math. So yeah, is it easier on this? Can I tell you better on this? Sure, it's like 1 centimeter. Perfect. Maybe I measured on the centimeter side. Sure. So when I do the filming to show you it all inked in, all decorated, you're going to see my habits here. And then of course, the habit tracker is throughout the month. A lot of times what I'll do is use my Crayola markers, and I have the colors of the world, which I absolutely adore. And I will just use them to put a dot in that box when I do it. But I think this month I'm actually going to do a red, white, and blue theme and fill it in that way. So we'll see how that goes. You'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. So after the habit trackers, I've got some recipes. I've got 7 recipes. So I would like to try 7 new recipes for the month of July. In order to do that, I'm going to list them out, and then I'm going to make a shopping list down here of things that I need that I don't normally have on hand. Fortunately, I have a very large pantry, and I can every year from, things that I get from the farmer's market or things that we grow ourselves. So I do have a pretty good surplus of ingredients. This, I think, will help me use those, because a lot of times I'll come home from work and I'm like, how does ramen noodles sound? Thankfully, my husband's like, yeah, ramen sounds great. I need to get more creative in my cooking. So that is the goal with this recipes page. And then we hop into the first full week of July, and you'll notice Monday is the 3rd. So this layout particularly is Monday through Friday with the weekends together. I don't normally do that in my planner, but for this layout to show, I did, and I think it's going to work out really well because ironically, we are going to be gone this weekend, so there's not a whole lot going on other than packing and prepping. So that should be super duper easy. Then I wanted to try 4 days on a page, and I haven't seen this before in a spiral planner or a regular planner. So I thought I would try this and see how it goes. Again, stay tuned because I will be doing a month flip through on how this all came together. I'll probably do 2. I'll do my final setup to show you what it looks like. And then at the end of the month, maybe the first part of August, I will do a what it actually looked like filled in, which I'm excited because who doesn't want a filled in video, right? So then we have our Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then next week. So pre-planning for the week after. I do this a lot in my Hobonichi Cousin Avec. I will plan the next week kind of on a scratch piece of paper, and then I will put it in when I'm filming. A lot of this has to do with like budgeting, what we have as far as like commitment bills. Is there such a thing as non-commitment bills? I don't think so. I don't know why I said it that way. Bills we have coming up the next week, just so I can prepare myself and not, go crazy during the week on other things that are non-essential. Maybe essential bills. No, bills are just essential, period. I don't have a single bill that I can be like, well, you're not essential this week, I'm not going to pay you. No, not a single one. Then check this out. This I have never seen before. So this is going to be a vertical, and if you plan in an EC, if you plan in a plum paper, if you plan in a happy planner, Leuchtturm, if you plan, well, not really a Leuchtturm, but Hobonichi, you have this vertical layout, right? So I wanted to try getting all 7 days of the week on one page. This is a skinny, skinny, skinny. They are super narrow. In fact, they are just 1.25 inches. No, 1 inch and whatever that is. What is that? You guys, I feel like I should have done better in math for you. Let's say they are 3 centimeters. That works. Because they're not quite a quarter. They're right in the middle, whatever that is. Somebody comment down below and help everybody else out on what these measurements are, please, since I am not going to be able to do that. Again, I will ink all of this in, get the sidebars decorated, this bottom decorated. I think you're going to really like it, even though I can't give you the exact measurements other than 3 centimeters. So, you know, Okay, and then I thought, well, if I'm going to do it that way, I should also do it this way. So to finish out the month, am I on, yeah, so these are 3/4. Thankfully, I can use centimeters this time. These are 3/4 of an inch as we go through these, and they are pretty much the full page. I did leave this bottom open. I left the top open. I'll decorate it. We'll see what it looks like, and I believe this is the last spread for July. It is. So that is what I have put together for the month of July in the spiral planning. I will start inking this probably this afternoon. These are the washes I thought I would use, but now I'm wondering if I should do the whole month in red, white, and blue for the American holiday, July 4th, Independence Day. And I'm really feeling like I'm leaning towards just having a full month of red, white, and blue. So stay tuned. I could derail myself and go completely off the charts. Never know. Feel free to leave comments. I love interacting with you guys. Let me know how your spiral planning is doing, or if this is the first planner that you've started and you decided to start in a spiral planner. I think that's super smart to figure out what you like and what works best for you. Sorry about the measurements. I love you, and I look forward to talking to you in the comments. Bye.